Looking to stand out at your next networking or gala event? Wondering how to add that touch of I'm here? Your professional attire situation? Well, then keep watching this video, because in this video, as a business lawyer and a woman in business law of many years, I'm going to talk to you about some of the key principles of how to dress for success when it comes to networking events, galas, all of those outside of the everyday kind of thing that you might go to as a law student or a junior lawyer, or if you're in Canada, you might be doing, that in-between situation called articling. So thank you so much for watching today's video. My name is Pamela Metani. I'm a business lawyer and the founder here at Graphene Business Law, a law firm working exclusively with business owners and entrepreneurs throughout the province of Ontario, Canada. If you're new to our channel, give this video a big thumbs up and make sure you click on the subscribe button down below. Did you click? Or down there. Thank you for clicking. If you, again, are new to this channel, you'll know that most of our content here is published toward the entrepreneur business owner market, but once in a while we do a video pertaining to the law student side of things, or even those taking LSAT, things like that. Now, this video is not one that I would have naturally thought to put out on a professional platform that is our YouTube channel here at Graphene Business Law. However, I've always told you guys, if you leave comments and I think there's something there, I will comment, okay? Or I will make a video off of it. And by the way, part of the freedom of why I can do these things is because I have my own shop. I run my own show. So don't think that any topic is too weird or anything like that. Chances are I'm going to be able to post content pertaining to your, topic or query of choice. So let's get into it. Now, this video was talking about wardrobe. I won't say the poster's name in case she doesn't want me to, but hey you. So there's a few ways I think about, attire in the networking or gala sense. And I'm going to split those two, into different umbrellas for this video. I also want to be very clear that be very careful where you are getting your source from. This video on attire is coming from a, very enlightened, educated woman with running her own show. I don't work for anybody else. Others work for me. And wearing, I've never worn black on this channel, okay? So be careful where you get your news source from, because my news source that I'm delivering here obviously comes from me and all of my different perspectives and life experiences. Now, one thing I want to say also by way of background story to further help you understand where my head's at with the, suggestions I'm about to make in this video. I remember being at Wellesley, which is where I completed my undergrad studies in Boston, Massachusetts. I double majored there in philosophy and French, and I minored in econ because there was, never too much going on. And I remember one of our French classes, we read a story. I can't tell you how it pertained to earning a major, but there must have been some, something complex going on in the story. We read a story about this woman interviewing for a job in front of a panel of 3. The panel was 2 men and 1 woman. And at the end of her interview, which she had felt some type of way about, she noticed when everybody got up to shake hands with each other that the woman on the panel, the woman in power in front of her, was wearing pink shoes. And that to her was internalized as some sort of message of freedom that you're able to micro taste as you move up the ladder of success, right? So the idea that somebody won't hire you if you look like a pink flamingo in an interview, but that as you move up the ladder to the more conventional, firm structure or even employment structure, if you're working in government or in-house, all of that, you're able to express yourself more freely in your attire. That story was one of many, many that left, a remark, an impact on me, because I remember thinking, the first instinct you kind of think is you think kudos to that woman that made it to wear pink shoes. And the second thing that you think is how freaking sad is that, How freaking sad is that we are congratulating somebody for this micro version of self-expression, because the world is so oppressive and rigid and coded in a way that impedes your personal successes and freedoms. I'm not trying to get political. I don't even know a political party that kind of thought would pertain to. That's my Pamela Metani, school of thought. So stories like that, came to build up and build up and build up. Of course, I entered corporate law. I'd always wanted to be in corporate law, an area that at the time that I wrote my Wellesley undergrad admissions essays, because I'd always known I wanted to be a lawyer even before entering undergrad, business lawyer specifically. It was an area that at that time I remember putting down that it was 92% male, again, at that year. I don't know how many years ago that would have been, but it wasn't yesterday. So I suspect the statistic has changed a little bit. Okay. And all of these micro scratches in the world, with whatever kind of gender, I'm not trying to make it a man versus woman kind of thing, but, the men they sort of take it too in some ways, right? Wearing the basic, I like to call it prison attire, the basic white and black situation. So we all suffer in different ways, although disproportionately, yes, I would say that women have it harder than men in the workforce. I don't think that's a controversial point in 2024. But that's not what you asked me about, dear poster, dear commenter. You asked me about clothing suggestions. So I think I've said enough by way of background and by way of just the school of thought that feeds me. And the school of thought I feed myself is one that is, more facing freedom, and one that is genuinely upset by stupid rigidities in society and things like that, okay? But I wanted to say that so you don't get surprised at what I'm about to suggest, okay? Oh, and also I don't want it to sound like I'm, giving the suggestions from the ivory tower situation. I've experienced things myself as well. I remember when I was articling at a very prestigious small firm on Bay Street, which if you're watching from the States is our equivalent of Wall Street. And, my attire has always been super professional. I was fortunate, in my younger years to have, other individuals contribute to my wardrobe, if you will. It wasn't all dependent on my, budget as an articling student, which would probably have been $5 for a shirt. So I was able to wear some really nice pieces from wherever I could find, honestly, but relatives and things like that. And I wore a top once that was very dark blue, classic navy blue, and in the middle it had two parrots for its flash of color. And my articling mentor pulled me aside and he made a comment about, he was like, what are those? Pertaining to the birds on my chest. So now I'm sitting here in this man's office who's 2-3 times my age, and we're having a conversation about a logo on my chest, stupid. And just the fact that it came up in the first place, and obviously through the remainder of the conversation it became clear that this shirt was not to his liking. And I'm thinking words I can't say on YouTube because I want to stay monetized, but I've had my share of stupidities, okay? So anyways, what do I think you should wear to a networking event? First of all, I encourage you to think about what the point of going to a networking event is, right? The point to me, logically, would be that you are trying to somehow stand out. You are trying to somehow distinguish yourself from the rest, because if you don't, and I'm not saying that's, the main point, but it is the point that feeds all of your actions at the networking event, even if it's a background thought. If you don't distinguish yourself, then you will be just like everybody else. And not everybody else around us is successful, is amazing, is this, is that, is a standout, okay? So you want there to be something different about how you present yourself, okay? That's an area where I think playing with textures and playing with colors is very well invited. Format-wise, yeah, you can do the button-up. We've all seen a million of those. You can try a sweater. You can try a certain nice kind of dress. Okay, I'm gonna throw some photos up here of, when I say button up, this is one what I would wear, less on the, collar that has been imposed of us like a freaking leash over time. Okay, something a little softer. Okay, and this, by the way, this segment of the video is geared toward females, but I don't care what gender you are and you wear these clothes. I don't. Okay, so that sounded oddly jaded. No, the point is, do you, wear you, whatever, okay? So you know, this softer, like yellowish look, you know, the material is clearly expensive, but we're popping out with the color, okay? And then when I say sweater, you know, I'll show this sweater next, the pink sweater with the long sleeves. Of course, there's got to be something different about it, okay? And there's two different things here, or three arguably. One is the material itself, that it's not the classic cotton crap in the office setting. One is the, you know, the little feature with the sleeve. So what's going to end up happening, if you're not an octopus and you wear this like a normal human being, it's going to like ruche up a little at the sleeves. And the third distinguishing factor, of course, is the color. Okay, and then third is the sweater dress. Now, you know your body best. This is obviously not a one size or one gender fits all, but you know, personally, with my very involved shape, if I wore a dress like this, the only way I could do it is with something underneath. Whether that's a legging underneath, I don't care. Wear the legging. It doesn't have to be, you know, pantyhose like we're in the 20s, okay? But there needs to be something underneath if you have curve to you, because where it hits on this model is not where it's going to hit on you once it comes up, because of the chest, and then it comes up because of the butt. So keep your measurements in sync. But the standout feature here, even though we're going for a fairly unexciting brown color, the standout feature here is the sleeves. They add that little bit of, I'm different, give me space, okay? One safe sort of visual catalog, but that still has excitement to it, that is unconventional, even in 2024 in the workspace, is the Max Mara website. If you go to Max Mara and you look at blouses, you look at dresses, you look at things like that, okay, don't hate. I know they're expensive. That is not my point. It's not, don't feel bad about it for a freaking second, okay? None of us, unless it came from daddy, could afford those things when we started out, and mine did not come from daddy, okay? So don't feel bad about it. But I'm just talking visual look, okay? Chances are over 90% of Max Mara's website you could find on H&M, Forever 21 alternative. I mean, Zara, when you don't have money, Zara is expensive, okay? So I'm not even going to say go to Zara, but just look wise, I want you to understand what's in my head, and that to me is a safe bet. Like, there is anything on the Max Mara website I could take and wear, and I'm not going to be worried about if it shows too much cleavage or if it shows too much butt or things like that, okay? So that is the color scheme that is very pleasant for networking events, and the dresses even for galas. Again, that's sort of how I would average it out. Could you get more exciting? Yeah, you could always get more exciting, and I invite you to do that. But, you know, is the website a refreshing website compared to what I call the prison uniform, the black and white? Yes, it is, okay? So that's a little bit of what's in my mind, and I hope it helps you in terms of the colors. Look for color, okay? I've read so many articles as somebody that is inspired by fashion in my personal life, you know, talking about men should wear, you know, a little handkerchief for a pop of color, women should wear a colorful shoe. I'm so tired of it, okay? Just do the head to toe color. Like, it's one life to live, and for those of you, and there's no judgment, okay, but for those of you that have chosen to work for others in whatever capacity, you are going to spend the bulk of your life in that setting. Dress in a way that excites you, okay? Like, it's one life to live. Do you really want to spend the biggest part of your life worrying if your boss thought your yellow banana sweater was too yellow? Who gives a crap, okay? So, but these views are not your views that the average individual holds, right? The average individual, I am aware, is a bit more conservative, a bit more guided, a bit more cautious as to what the others are actually thinking. But you asked for my opinion, and I'm giving you my opinion. The point is to stand out. You have no idea how many events I've gone to that people remembered me because of what I was wearing. And I'm not even talking the real crazy stuff I want to wear with like spikes and stuff like that coming out of it, or feathers or crazy textures or crazy like measurements. I'm not even talking about that. I just mean like wearing literally a yellow jacket or something like that, okay? Again, the point is to stick out. Uniforms are something that was created, that came about, that concept of a working uniform came about thousands of years ago. My research disclosed, you know, they were around in ancient Rome, which means they could have been around or been created even before then. It was a type of branding, okay? It was not meant to express creativity. It was not meant to reflect you as the individual, in this case, woman that commented on my YouTube video. So encourage yourself in life in general, but also when it comes to wardrobe, to understand where these honestly, oppressive concepts came from, and if you really want to keep playing into them, or if you want to do your own thing, okay? One note I'm going to make, and this comes from somebody with a lot of body myself, so if I wanted to, and it's so funny to talk about that on the Law channel, that's why I said, I never thought I would talk about this. If I wanted to, showing off certain parts of my body would definitely put a lot of eyes on me. I'll put it that way, okay? But it's actually a line that I have rarely crossed in the professional setting. I don't know where you're at, as a young woman. I don't know how confident you are in yourself to be able to cover up and understand that it's about what's in here and what's in here, and the face as well. Like study tells us that face, draws a lot of attention as well. So put a nice show that way. But I don't even, for the purposes of time, I'm not going to get overwhelmed and talk about eye colors and stuff like that. But, I have never crossed the line with certain areas. First of all, myself, I didn't want to know that this is the reason everybody's talking to me, okay? So when I say add excitement to your outfit, one note personally I would leave, and obviously it's your choice, obviously it's your body, stuff like that. I would try to be careful not to wear anything too low cut, okay? And again, different rules for different body sizes. If I wear something as low cup as an A, B, C, D, double D, triple D cup might wear it, because I'm so much further down the line than that, it is naturally going to make me look so much more... I'm trying to think of a word to put that won't get flagged on YouTube. How do I say it? I'm going to attract more eyes for the wrong reason than somebody wearing the same exact top as me with a lower cup size, okay? So I understand that that's part of what sucks about, cuts and things like that they don't fit all of our bodies the same. Obviously it's different. You have to explore and find your silhouettes and things like that. But don't go too low cut and don't go too tight near the butt, okay? You don't need it. If you really, really want it, go for it, okay? Who cares? But it's not something you should aim to do, and it's not a feature that I would consider as being a feature that adds excitement to your outfit. That's not the best way to get eyes on you. It doesn't mean I don't do it in other settings, okay? When I'm going on vacation, you will have to look hard to find fabric on my body, okay? Because life is about balance. And even now, this top, it's up to you, right? This top that I'm wearing right now, I could make this go hella low. But I'm not trying to get that attention and get you on my channel here for that reason, okay? So I, collar it up a little bit, and then the collar ends up becoming a point of sophistication and class and elegance, right? You can play with your clothes as well, and that's a sign of a more expensive garment that allows you to do more than one thing with it. But again, be careful how you contour certain body types. It's a different thing to highlight that you have long legs versus, slapping it on that back, okay? And speaking of as well, one thing that I would be a little careful with, at least in the lower half, is sheer or see-through materials. We don't need to see that, okay? We all know it's down there. You can be a little sheer or see-through on top, depending on the type of bra or bralette you wear, okay? You can do that a little bit, sort of like a is it, isn't it kind of action, but not on the bottom, okay? When it comes to galas, this was a tricky one for me. And by the way, the tops, the bottoms, it goes without saying, you can wear any bottom on earth, But again, I invite you to think of exciting elements to the bottoms. Try to, encourage yourself to push outside of the black or navy or gray, which are so unexciting. And, be careful. What matters most with the bottom, though, honestly, more than the color, is how it fits your body. Be very careful there, because bottoms for a lot of us are going to fit in your, abdominal area, depending how high or low cut you're going. the butt, like the same butt in different kind of bottoms is gonna look amazing versus it's gonna look trashy versus it's gonna look small, you know, like the same person. So that I would invest more on the way something fits your body. And honestly, sometimes, you know, because of the level of curve that some of us have, like I remember going for like ruched materials in the bottom a little bit, like sort of more elasticy, more forgiving, things like that. I had to look outside of the unconventional. I don't know if I've ever worn a pair of black pants in my life. As I say that, I have a visceral reaction in my head to wearing like those black work pants when I was working the takeout counter at 17, but I had to wear a uniform because the institution on top required it. Okay, so again, that concept of uniforms being like an oppressive thing has always stayed with me. But anyways, going back to galas here, you know, I tried to think of a good thing to wear at a gala. Honestly, you have so much choice and so many options that it was hard to think of just one thing or even, you know, 3 or 5 photos to slap up on the screen. You can wear anything professional, anything colorful, anything that, you know, you feel makes you look really, really good, like your best, you know. I'm gonna say it, I've gone to galas, I've worn $27 dresses to galas, okay, where I have been like the most complimented person of the night because of the way that dress made my body. Might have been a crap fabric, might have been a weird color, and it was the dress I'm thinking of, but the way it made my body look, the way it went in at the waist and went out everywhere else, like, you know, cut matters a lot. Okay, and then I've worn like really, really expensive, thousands of dollars kind of thing in outfits, and of course those have gone over well as well, but for different reasons, you know. Like a dress I'm thinking of was not the most exciting cut, it was actually quite conservative cut, you struggle to see my waist, things like that, but it was just the most pure yellow linen color, like you can imagine, like pure sunshine. Anyways, so galas, when it comes to format of attire, you know, we have the pantsuits, we have the jumpsuits, like the one-piece suits. You can do the blazer and the dress, you can do the dress, you can do a sweater dress, you can do anything. There's no wrong format. The biggest thing when it comes to the gala as well that I'm gonna say is make sure that the fit is there, okay? A gala, as opposed to a networking event, is an area where I think you can show a little bit more cleavage if that's something you're like dying to do. If you need that attention on you, it's okay. A gala might be a setting where that's a little more appropriate. But again, you know, be careful. If you're in the legal industry and your gala is around other lawyers or things like that, that matters too, right? If you're, for example, a lawyer in tech and you're going to a gala with like exclusively startups and people that have no idea how to dress and just nerds and things like that, I would say you could almost wear anything you want. But if you're going to, you know, a gala in the oil and gas industry, that's a very different situation, okay? Again, it comes down to fit. The color should be there without saying, you know, in my opinion, in the ideal world, and the texture should be there as well. But if you had to pick one aspect of the outfit that really matters in a gala, it's going to be the fit. At the end of the day, whatever color, like we've seen colors on this earth, right? Like it's hard we're not creating new colors every day kind of thing, okay? Yes, there's different gradients to colors depending on how expensive and quality the pieces are and things like that. But big picture, think of any color. You've seen a woman wear that dress. You know, you've seen a white dress, you've seen a pink dress, you've seen a yellow, you've seen the red, you've seen a green, you've seen a black, you've seen a blue dress, okay? But it's the fit. It's the fit that's going to make somebody go, wow, you look damn good, okay? And it's the fit that's going to make you feel really amazing about how you look. So again, the gala, the focus of the gala should be the fit of the dress or the outfit, as opposed to anything else about it. What's the point of wearing an exciting color if all you're attracting attention to is how terribly this outfit fits? You see what I mean? So go for fit first in the gala. Again, be a little careful with the cleavage because it reads not the way you're thinking it reads most of the time. Again, especially in these professional settings, right? Like cleavage shown at the beach might read like, damn, you know, Sports Illustrated. Again, an oppressive institution in and of itself, but I'm just using it as an expression. Whereas cleavage at work might read, damn, like, does she not, do people not talk to her that she needs the attention here? I'm not saying it's what I think, so be careful, but it's the way it might read. And of course, you know, you're going to get the toxic, like, thoughts and comments about, like, oh, this is how she got here, things like that, okay? That sort of sexist crap I'm not even going to address in this video. I know better than that. But again, be careful, be careful. Every visual representation impacts, you know, exactly that, how you're taken, and owing to how you chose to represent yourself, okay? So make good choices there. The heels, if you can wear a heel, try to wear the heel, okay? I understand there's reasons of accessibility and there's preference and there's this and that. Not everybody physically can wear the heel. So when I mean if you can, I literally mean that. But if you can, I do think it adds more excitement to, you know, more excitement to the look. And one thing psychologically that I liked about wearing the heel is that being naturally, like, fairly tall, like, I'm not 6 feet, but I'm well above average height of like 5'2", 5'3" myself. Wearing a heel often, depending on the height of the heel, pushed me at the 6 or just over the 6 foot mark. So it meant that I was looking at men eye to eye on a very different level. And obviously men still dominate these industries and men are still at the top disproportionately. So being able to have that just little equalizer was something that I enjoyed putting a heel on. I also really enjoy how heels look on me. I've been wearing heels since I was 4 years old, on and off. I would get yelled at when I was young for wearing heels too often and saying it would mess up my back and things like that. So if you can go for the heel, it is a nice touch, you know. And the heel, try not to do black. Try not to do black. A heel, the color of your skin color, is scientifically, like, proven to make you look that much longer and taller and leaner, okay? So just as a fun fact, like, if I gun to my head, if I had to pick a conventional heel color, I would go for what the market has referred to as nude for so long, although all of us have different skin colors. But the nude, I mean, usually on my feet, like, especially if I've come from vacation or something, it would be a little light, even what the market considers nude. But if I had to pick a conventional color, okay? But again, try to be a little more exciting than that. Always seek excitement, because this collection of networking events, this collection of galas is what's going to make up your life looking back one day. And I don't want you to look back at 10 different, you know, black dresses, okay? So I can leave this there for the ladies. One little note I will say is that the crop situation, I never understood that. You know, if you're gonna have cutouts on your body, I would have it on a more cohesive way, like running down the side, things like that. I have never understood the benefit of cropping your outfit right in the middle. So now I'm looking at fashion, skin, fashion. Okay, like, I like fashion, so keep me looking at more fashion, excite me more, okay? Than to look at, like, your literal gut, okay? So just, you asked for my opinion, okay? Now, we need to give the guys some attention. I can't end this video without talking about the guys. It's so funny because it's so much easier for the guys. Like, I was thinking, you know, what complexities do we need to traverse here in the male fashion world, okay? The one thing I would say for the guys is that it's a lot easier than you think. And I don't mean to oversimplify. I know men face, you know, difficulties and challenges with all of the topics we've covered in this video as well. But one thing I would, you know, the most important thing for a guy is that you look clean. The measurements of the male body are different than that of the female body. So the importance of you highlighting your waist while showing me that your breasts and bottoms are larger than your waist, you know, is not, society hasn't passed that down to you. So you don't need to worry about that. And physically, I don't think, you know, I'm trying to picture the male silhouette. I don't think it works like that anyways in most cases. It's true, men, you know, of course, still have shape and still have measurements. You know, you might want to highlight your shoulders, for example. Whether you're flatter around the midsection or there's a little extra around the midsection, highlighting your shoulders is always going to be, you know, the average man has shoulders that are more broad than a woman. So that's going to be a way that makes you look more straight out, right off the cut, right off the cuff, right off the cut. Insert expression here. Okay, pant wise, just be clean, right? Like bodies are so different. Some people are going to have pants that are higher waisted, lower waisted, depending on what you're comfortable with in the midsection. I don't care. Just make sure that you're clean. The one thing I would encourage men to think about too, though, in terms of smashing through that, oppressive prison uniform agenda that's been handed down to us, you don't need to wear a button up every time. You can wear a sweater too. You can wear, one thing men can wear and women can, anybody can wear it, but it just comes to mind more with men because their options are so much more limited, I feel, or simplified if you want to look on the positive. One thing you can wear as a man is, more structured t-shirt, like with the rolled up sleeves. That's a great look. Like that with a clean pant, like a business pant, exudes a certain level of confidence, okay? Just roll up the damn sleeve. Or if you can afford it, buy it pre-rolled up. Pre-rolled up with some sort of padding on top, just a little bit extra. But even that is something, and men, you can seek to add excitement to your life as well, You don't need to wear the black and the navy and the gray. You can wear a yellow shirt. Okay, there's nothing sexual or gendered about that at all. I'm not telling you wear, a yellow shirt with diamonds on it. Wear the freaking yellow shirt. Just change your color. Just change your color. So many men look so miserable and so much older than they are and so disgruntled just because they're sticking to that prison uniform of like black and gray. Okay, and by the way, the colors you wear affect your mental health as well. So try a yellow freaking shirt at your next networking event. Okay, just try. But again, it's going to come down to the same big picture thing. The fit is going to matter most for you. And there's different fits that look different. Somebody's going to need it a little more loose at the waist. Somebody is going to want to make it tighter. Things like that. Like different bodies are going to come with different desired fits. But play around with it. Go to the store, make an affordable price range store, although nothing feels like it's affordable anymore. But go to an affordable price range store and try different cuts there. Don't buy anything. Just try, If you are so freaking scared and all the social anxieties about going out, order 3 different cuts on Amazon, return them all. I don't care, okay? But try what the different, button styles and lengths, of sleeve and collar and, the waist situations are going to look like on you. Because again, you have one life to live too. And you don't want to spend it. And obviously here I'm going with a conventional, male-female situation. But you don't want to spend it as a male, wearing clothes that never once in your life fit you. I see men that on their wedding day, most men on their wedding day wear clothes that don't fit them well. It's one life to live, okay? So, I think I probably overdid my minutes on this. I want to thank you so much for having, had that comment to leave. I hope this video answered your question. If it didn't, ask me a more specific comment in the comments and, we can address that specifically. There's 8 billion people on this earth, so don't be embarrassed about carrying forward the conversation. And I want to again thank that original commenter for giving us the idea and thank everybody that watched. And of course, if for some reason you watch this, because I guess, business owners and entrepreneurs can benefit from having a good wardrobe as well. So if for some reason you watch this and you're a business owner or entrepreneur that needs any legal services in the province of Ontario, Canada, you can email us at any time, info@graphenebusinesslaw.ca, and our website, of course, graphenebusinesslaw.ca. Thank you for watching.